Welcome back from the break, everyone. So on Worldwide Gaming, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a top 10 list, and it's a top 10 of anything gaming related, be that vehicles, cars, melee weapons, whatever. Once you've watched the list, tell us what you think. Jump onto our Facebook page and drop us a comment and say whether we got it right or wrong, or whether you think we missed out on something. This week, we have top 10 vehicles. At number 10, using the boost to get through, it's the R-Wing from Lilac Wars. Use bomb quietly! At number 9, speeding through the data stream, it's the Light Cycle from Tron Legacy. At number 8, bring your tray tables to their upright position, it's the Titan from Battlefield 2142. At number 7, like the Prometheans, it's no longer extinct, it's the Mammoth from Halo 4.
Target suppressed.
At number 6, using the Force, it's Anakin Skywalker's pod racer from Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. At number 5, grinding the rails, it's the inline skates from Jet Set Radio. At number 4, when the hidden blade just won't do, it's the Aquila from Assassin's Creed 3.
Best be getting back at the old man will have my guts for garters.
At number 3, crusading across the universe, it's the Normandy SR2 from Mass Effect 2. At number 2, don't let the Marines drive, it's the Warthog from Halo. And the number 1 vehicle on our top 10 list of vehicles is the Jetpack from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Well, that was my top 10. If you have any questions or you want to tell us how you think we went, whether we got it right or wrong, jump onto our Facebook page. The link is right down on the bottom of your screen right now. Ryan, what did you think of it?
There's a couple of things. Firstly, the rollerblades. What's with that?
Yeah, so a lot of people sort of had that problem. The inline skates are actually called magnetically driven inline skates. So they have a little engine in them that it all powers like a little magnet which powers the wheel. So aside from it also being human powered, it's also like that's amplified by this engine. I mean, how else do you expect people to like jump off of a 2-story building, do 5 backflips in the air while listening to wicked techno music and then landing on another 2-story building?
All right, and the one that I'm really happy with number 1, the jetpack.
Yes.
So I've had so much fun in San Andreas with the jetpack.
I know,
going
right?
around
I love
Los
it.
Venturas, and then
I love it, yeah. What I love about the jetpack as well is that people think it's like, this really, well, before that it was this really sort of nerdy thing that was only used by like, superheroes or things like that. And they somehow managed to gangster up the whole thing. I don't know how they did it, but it looks awesome.
All right, but now it's time to cut over to Vince for his review of Gran Turismo 5.
I was never a big racing fan until recently. Racing games on controller to me were pretty boring. Having a full racing simulator setup has completely changed my view on everything. Gran Turismo 5 so far is the best game I've played on the racing simulator and seems to be the only game that is compatible with a full racing setup. The gameplay is pretty much the same. Race cars, win money, race more cars. Exactly the same. Every game has its own take on this genre, and Polyphony Digital have done a great job. Each and every car handles differently, and after driving the G37 for a little bit too long, I'm afraid to drive anything else. The audio on Gran Turismo 5 is fantastic. When I was playing around in arcade mode, the music started off with some pretty boring elevator stuff that almost made me fall asleep in the first few laps. After the next few laps, some motivating music came on and my lap times actually got a little bit better. Considering the variety, the soundtrack is still really good and covers almost all genres. The sound effects in this game could not get any better. There's nothing better to me than revving an engine of a high-powered vehicle and listening to the sound of burning rubber. All the cars sound just as they should, even the go-kart. A racing wheel, pedal, gearshift setup is hands down the best way to play Gran Turismo 5 than just a simple controller. It's not only nowhere near as fun, but you don't really feel the full embrace of the game. Even having a bucket racing seat is better than just a normal computer chair or even a simple couch. Doesn't necessarily make you a pro, but you do feel like one. I've gotten a little bit over enthusiastic a few times while driving on the racing simulator. Afterwards, I've had to retighten a few bolts here and there because I've been driving a little bit too hard like a hood. Just like any other car game, there has to be a large variety of different cars, or else things can get pretty boring pretty quickly. I could be wrong, but this is just thinking logically. I'm a real life car nut, and I love seeing modified cars. If I get the chance to go crazy on modifying a car in a car game, I'll spend more time doing that than actually racing the car itself. You can change the tires, the brakes, the suspension, the drivetrain, the transmission, the exhaust, the intake, the engine itself, change the chassis, and even add a turbo setup. I'm not someone who cares much about the graphics of a game. I'm more of a gameplay or storyline kind of guy. But when it comes to car games, graphics are vital. The most important things such as the cars and the track have been heavily concentrated on compared to the other scenery, which is totally understandable. Watching race replays are actually enjoyable because of how pretty everything looks and how badass your racing skills look in the cinematics. Overall, Gran Turismo 5 is a great racing game, with or without a racing simulator. It covers all the basic things and excels in taking them to the next level. All the audio fits perfectly in the game, except for the elevator music, because there's no real elevator to drive. There's countless variations of hardware that goes with Gran Turismo 5, which adds that little bit more customization to it all. All the cars in this game were well created, and if they aren't to what you are looking for, all you have to do is go to the modification section, add what you want, and there you go. Again, if you want to play a racing game and feel fully embraced by it, buy a full racing simulator setup, Gran Turismo 5. There's nothing better. Trust me.